Ooh, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Single Over Servitude. I am your host, Jeremy, and today we're going to talk about men's struggles with emotions and how society does not give a rat's ass about how you feel, how you are supposed to be strong, pillar of strength, stoic, even if you're crumbling on the inside. So, the emotional neglect epidemic facing men across the country. Could women be to blame for the reason why men don't seek emotional support? And as we see a picture here of a broken, shattered shell of a man, but do you think anyone's going to listen to his problems? Most likely not. I remember when my friend Brig hit us up during a moment of arguments with his then ex-wife. Brig was the explosively wild, happy-go-lucky tweaker who we all know and love. I wrote about him before, but this is not about the abusive side of his relationship. At one point, Brig was dealing with some serious emotional problems in his own mind. He has PTSD and other issues. Eventually, he decided to open up about his girl, almost admitting she ended up almost admittedly, he ended up getting angry or upset for him to the point that he had to confront her. His problems, his venting, oh yeah, it didn't happen. He ended up spending the entire night trying to explain himself, defend himself, and cuddle his lady who somehow always made it about her. A woman making any issue about her, I'm shocked. People, I think it's time to talk about this. In the past, I'm sorry, in the past, I wrote a lot about how men really aren't handling dating well. If you've been a reader for a while, you already know that I've written about women leaving the dating scene because men have started to behave terribly with them. Hey, if someone treats you bad, you leave. I've written about men lashing out at women, men insulting women as a way to convince them to date them, and more. It's true, we have a problem of how men are struggling. It's a big issue that seriously impacts the dating scene. Are women are women struggling with singledom? Not so much. Studies show single women, I'm sorry, studies show single, carefree women are the happiest and healthiest demographic out there. One major issue keeps coming up with the issue that when I discuss this matter, social support. Women make a point to have deep social connections with others. Men, though, do not typically invest as much time or effort in getting connections. This, as it turns out, is a very multi-faced problem. Men need to stop telling other men to stop bitching. Yeah, I mean, how many times have you been told in your life, man up and deal with it? I mean, just whether it's from women, whether it's from other guys, it's just like, hey, we can't have our problems because we're men. But if a woman has a problem, oh, the whole world rushes to coddle them and cradle them. Man, we're out left alone in our emotions in the desert of support with a tumbleweed blown in the background. One of the key differences between a typical man and a typical woman is their social network. Girls are encouraged to share their feelings from a very young age. Crying is okay in society's eyes. If you're a girl, some people will even go as far as to swoop in and cheer you up, like I said earlier. If you're born a boy, well, the saying "boys don't cry" says it all, doesn't it? Um, guys often adm- admonish. I don't know, never heard that word before. Admonish younger men for showing hurt feelings. If you're a man who's sensitive, chances are high you've gotten flack over it. Well, yeah, it's just like, oh, stop being such a pussy. But hey, sometimes you just don't know how to deal with it, and that I mean that also comes with age. As you get older, you know how to handle your emotions better or avoid unfavorable environments with more ease. This society this society-wide treatment left a lot of guys feeling concerned, or expected to be the strong, stoic, I guess mean like stoic, borderline motionless bastions of society, but that is not healthy nor possible. Women cannot shoulder all the burden of men's issues alone. As a society, we need to make it acceptable for guys to say, I feel lost about what I'm doing. Oh, I'm sorry. I feel lost about what to do. I am alone. I could really use someone in my corner to talk things over with. However, it is not just a guys on guys issue. Picture of a guy isolated. One thing that took me for surprise is how frequently men note that they felt alone in their relationships. As my friend Briggs said, I give her so much support, but if I voice my issues or worries, I know I won't get the same support back. I would say that in that case, instead of carrying her emotional baggage and your emotional baggage, you cut ties and you just roll solo. In other words, Brig felt like he was the gas he was gaslit. I'm sorry, gaslit by the girl when it came down to his own emotions. He also was a guy who often felt like he could talk about his problems because I'm sorry, he couldn't talk about his problems because he would be judged or have it waved off with man. There we go. Man up. Honestly, he was not the first guy who's mentioned this issue to me. From what I can see, it often feels like being a man means that you have to be everyone's support, even when you will not be returned in kind. If you guys, if guys mention that they feel alone, most women will mock them and say, "Oh, boo hoo, man tears." This is true even when the guy has a legitimate complaint, such as a dead bedroom or emotional abuse. It also gets worse when you add misconstrued emotions into the mix. You know what? When they have this, oh, boo hoo man tears, I say, F it. Give women equality. Oh, boo hoo woman tears. Woman up and deal with it. I am all for that. Woman up and deal with it. Don't tell you want to tell me about your emotional problems? Pay me. No more free support for women. Women are not mind readers, even if you think they are. I don't think anyone thinks women are mind readers. In some cases, women misconstrued what's going on in their partner's mind. Then they'll ask you why he's angry when he's not. Uh, guess what happened if he said he's not angry or is thinking about nothing? Yep, you guessed it. A girl who doesn't believe him or got pissed about a line. One could say it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. This leads up. This leads to a lot of men in toxic relationships, with, often with the side effect of feeling like they have to walk on eggshells or put a mask on. The end result is emotional neglect epidemic throughout the country that mostly affects men. Being a man is an isolating experience, but as a guy, you often don't feel right admitting to that to people. You have to, Jesus Christ, my throat's getting dried out. It often feels like you're the only one like you for what you do for them or what your status is. It sucks. Damn, I don't have my water next to me. Throat's getting dried out all quick. It's also an experience that carries a lot of judgment with little reason aside from the fact that you're a guy. And when you can't even talk about your issues with your partner, it feels like the ultimate betrayal. When you are constantly told your needs don't matter and you feel like your emotions are neglected, you lose the ability to talk about your feelings constructively. Worst, your feelings can come out in bizarre, unhealthy ways to a point that shouldn't surprise anyone that men are increasingly dying from death of despair. I'd be despairing too if I had no one to talk to. Man, here's what I suggest you do. Don't panic. And this is why men will just like drop out of society. Like, you know what? I wanted the wife, I wanted the kids, I wanted the house on the hill, the 2.5 kids, and the dog. And it's like all this emotional weight, all this financial burden, and nowhere to relieve it, nowhere to release it. So it's like, you know what? I'm done. I'm pulling out of society. I'm going to live in a van down by the beach, make enough money just to afford the necessities, afford my credit card, afford my groceries, maybe a couple little toys here and there, but nope. I'm not going to strive for ultimate success. It's just, you know what? I'll just bail and I'll just do my thing. Then just enjoy my life. Guys, support other guys. Being a guy friend who listens to other men when they say they are not okay. Talk to them, lift them up. Don't just point to a fishing rod and ask them to be your buddy. Ask if your buddy wants to take their mind off of things. Ask if they need a distraction, a pair of ears, or a solution. So I saw this one TikTok from a guy, and it was an older guy too, and he said, if you ask a guy how he's doing and he says all right, that guy's not all right. He's breaking on the inside, but he can't tell you about his emotions. And he said, if you're going to ask me how I'm doing, he's going to say, I'm all right. Don't be afraid of therapy. Therapy is amazing for people who feel like they've been stunted emotionally. Hey, we all talk about the gym and physical health. Go to a therapist, get that mental health. Talk to your partner once in a while. Don't spill your guts, but at least give a heads up of what you're dealing with. Learn to talk to her and learn to vent. While this will make your relationship much better. That's debatable. Never stay with a partner who you can't talk to about your emotions. An emotionally unsupportive or neglected partner is a bad partner, period. You might not realize it, but there absolutely are women out there who will be in your corner and act as a personal cheerleader. Have time for yourself where you just let out all your emotions. Ugh. This can be done through a number of ways: therapy, artwork, or just sitting in the car and crying it out. Either way, you need to let them out. Remember that your feelings are valid. Seriously, say it over and over again. Tell people that. If they say, oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Sorry, guys. I'm just like stumbling, bumbling. It's way too late at night for this. Tell people that if they still say that you are not allowed to hurt over it, cut them off out of your life. You don't need people who don't accept the fact that you can hurt. Realize that it takes more strength to love and grieve than it does to have no emotions at all. Anyone who says that a strong man doesn't cry is full of shit. Your emotions are what make you human. And that's the end of the article. Sorry for tripping up my words. My throat was a little dry now and it's late at night. But yeah, how many times? Man up and deal with it. Jesus. I mean, really, I don't know how often that saying goes around nowadays. I know, 90s, 2000s, it's just like, deal with it. Anyways, what do you guys think? Do you think it should be accepted more often that men should be able to vent their frustrations and their emotional needs? Because, I mean, The moment a woman has slightly frustrated or a tear rolls down her eyes, everyone just jumps. Oh, my queen, my goddess, who made you cry? That monster. I say let's give them the equality. If we can't show our emotions, you can't show your emotions. Man up and deal with it. Woman up and deal with it. Hey, you wanted equality. Enjoy the benefits and suffer the consequences. Hey, if you're gonna have this giant emotional support team, where's it us for us guys? Let's make this fair. So anyway, guys, emotional support for men, it ain't there. Deal with it on your own. But hopefully someday that'll change. Hopefully a guy going to therapy will not be looked at so much as a joke, but it's like, hey, good on you. Good for you. And this is another thing about social media. Don't misconstrue 2,000 digital click friends as real friends. Just have a tight, close-knit group. 3, 4 real solid buddies that you can rely on. Your ride and dies. Maybe they can help you a little bit, but it's not fair to you to dump all your emotional shit on them, but maybe just like trickle it down a little here and there. But, also be receptive to their problems. Anyways, guys, Jeremy Stone, Single Over Servitude. You guys have a good day.